Shocking new information from the scene of the shooting at the Kansas City Super Bowl celebration parade.
Exclusive interview with UNT President Neal Smatresk before he steps down.
And a group of future World Series champions gather a little early for spring training.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Sebastian Nava.
And I'm Benjamin Wolf. New information tonight from the shooting at the Super Bowl victory parade in Kansas City. Police now say one person dead and more than 20 were injured. Police had 3 potential suspects in custody, but earlier today released 1 adult. The remaining 2 suspects are juveniles. Currently, hospitals report most patients have been discharged, but at least 2 adults are still in critical condition. Michael Yoshida, CNN, is on the scene with more.
This appeared to be a dispute between several people that ended in gunfire.
Kansas City police giving an update on Wednesday's mass shooting during a Super Bowl victory rally for the Chiefs. Many of nearly 24 gunshot victims are children.
At least half of our victims are under the age of 16.
Killed in the gunfire was a popular local DJ, 43-year-old Lisa Lopez Galvin.
Lisa leaves behind an incredible legacy.
As friends remember her, some recall their own terrifying moments running from the gunfire.
All of a sudden, through the partitions, a wave of people come rushing through, screaming, "Gun, run, police are coming."
In the chaos that followed, at least one armed suspect was tackled by those in the crowd.
When I hit him from behind, I either jarred the gun out of his hand or out of his sleeve, because as I'm taking him down to the ground, I see the gun on the ground.
I want to thank the people who acted bravely yesterday alongside law enforcement.
Police confirmed they're looking at a number of suspects and multiple weapons were recovered at the scene. Several Kansas City players expressed their outrage on social media and concern for the victims. One attendee recalls seeing head coach Andy Reid minutes after the ordeal.
I will never forget finally coming out of the bathroom after hiding, and around the corner comes Andy Reid with his grandchildren and his wife. And he said, as he walked by, "Are you guys okay?" That moment of humility is incredible.
Federal agencies are assisting Kansas City officers in the investigation. And Children's Mercy Kansas City reports that 3 children still hospitalized, but are expected to make a full recovery.
Began to warm up a little bit around here, so I was kind of wanting to see how much longer this warm weather would stick around for.
Well, you're in luck. Our very own Grace Grimes is here to give us our first look into this week's weather. Grace?
Thanks, guys. Today we've been having a really nice but kind of humid day. We do have cloudy skies and our current temperature is 65, so it has warmed up a little bit. It will feel like 65 and the wind isn't going to be too crazy because it's only 4 miles per hour. On to tonight's conditions. So tonight we're going to have cloudy skies again. It is going to cool down a little bit. The actual temperature is going to be 62, but it will feel like 61. And those wind speeds are going to be 7 miles per hour. On to tomorrow's conditions. For tomorrow, again, we're going to have another cloudy day, but it is going to cool down just a little bit. The actual temperature is going to be 54, but it will feel like 53. And the reason it's cooled down is because of those 18 mile per hour wind speeds. That's all I have for First Look Weather. You'll see me again in the show for Full Look. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Grace. UNT police are investigating a break-in on West Prairie Street. One of UNT's own students was robbed. ntTV's Landry Brady has more information.
Thanks, Sebastian. Yesterday, a Denton student reported to police that a burglar vandalized his apartment and stole $6,500 in cash. At about 8:02 p.m. on Tuesday, police responded to a burglary report in the 2300 block of West Prairie Street after a student returned back to his home and discovered that him and his roommate's laptops as well as one of their credit cards were missing. The report states that there is a video surveillance at the apartment, but it is unclear now if it shows the burglars. Both people that live in the apartment told officers that they do plan to press charges. To prevent break-ins, you can do many different things like making sure that your doors and windows are shut whenever you are not home, as well as not leaving out packages in the open. It is always important to make sure that your house is a safe place. Now, while the Denton police are working hard to keep our city safe, UNT police are working very hard to keep our campuses safe. ntTV's Alexandria Tedros has more on the story.
Thanks, Landry. The University of North Texas at Dallas is receiving $10 million for its new law enforcement training facility. The new academy is aiming to improve the Dallas Police Department's training experience. The current facility is dated and has no room for recruits' showers and bathrooms. Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia called it embarrassing and not indicative of who we are. The academy will also boost morale and hopes to increase recruitment numbers, which is critical. Chief Garcia said officers' needs have tripled in the last 2 decades. The new center will be located next to a park on UNT Dallas's campus. It will replace the 34-year-old facility they currently use. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson said the project has been years in the making and can set a new standard for law enforcement training nationwide, as well as turn the tide for recruiting. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alexandria. Florida parents will now be required to sign permission slips in order for their children to learn about Black history. Parents in a Miami County school discovered that their children were required to sign a permission slip to attend a Black History Month book reading. A parent of a student posted a photo of the form on social media. It got more than 13 million views and was reported thousands of times. The slip for an event held on Tuesday said students would listen to a book written by an African American. In a statement, the district said permission slips are required by state law when guest speakers participate in education-related activities. The slips come as school districts and teachers across Florida try to navigate a slate of so-called parental rights laws. These parental laws are put in place to protect families' control in their education, just while blocking students from educational events.
While here in Texas, new state laws are also having an impact on education at colleges and universities, including UNT. Governor Greg Abbott signed State Bill 17 on January 1st. This bill changed several facilities on UNT's campus, including the Multicultural Center. Many students and organizations have expressed anger and frustration with this bill. President of the Puerto Rican Society of Students here at UNT, Liliana Maldonado, has concerns about the new changes.
Law to try and silence people, I just don't think that works. And I was really angry because that was the one and only reason I came to UNT. And so to hear that it was closing down along with the Pride Alliance and anything that was related to the DEI was heartbreaking, because that is so important for the younger generation. They need.
Maldonado and other student leaders have started a movement to represent their organizations and groups to higher administration. They hope to make sure their needs are heard within the changes that State Bill 17 has brought. Coming up, Neal Smatresk is resigning as UNT president.
And changes are coming to Denton's voting policy. We'll have more after the break.
Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
For 10 years, one man has been a key part of UNT, and that is Neal Smatresk. But a change is coming this fall. President Smatresk is trading in his title for a new one, teacher. He will be stepping down from his current position, and in an exclusive ntTV interview, talked with news director Mauricio Ortiz Segura about the upcoming change.
When we heard the announcement, we were all kind of surprised. You know, you're kind of a big celebrity around town. I don't know if you knew, but so I guess my first question would be, why? What made you decide to finally step away from UNT after making it your home for 10 years?
Well, so let me first say, I'm not really stepping away. I'm going to go be a professor for a little while. And I really look forward to it, because what got me into this is the idea that what I did in the classroom could change someone's life. Of course, as president, I got to do that at a much larger scale, but it's not quite as personal.
A good question would be, who's next? Do you have any idea who might be next to fill the shoes?
I have no idea. That'll be our chancellor and board who make that determination. I hope it's someone who is well-versed in higher ed and is capable of negotiating what might be the most challenging times ever for higher ed.
Do you think there's any specific issues to UNT that the next president is going to have to look out for?
The challenges that they face will be many, but the rewards are the best rewards ever.
Looking into this next part of your career, next part of your life, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, you know, I'm going to do a little teaching. I might work in some leadership classes and talk to some people about real live higher ed experience, fooling around with a couple new course ideas and a couple new programs, but I'm also going to keep working on entrepreneurship and innovation, both with the city of Frisco and the new plug-and-play contract that they've developed, as well as with our own students. So I want to do some mentoring and some leadership development, both formal and
ntTV will air a special series on the impact Dr. Smatresk has made on our university. That series will air at the beginning of the week of February 26th. We hope you will join us again for that special series.
But changes at UNT are not the only ones coming this year. It's election season, and early voting begins next week. However, Jackson Berry is in studio with more on an issue that has developed here in Denton that will have an impact on how you cast your ballot. Jackson?
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, for a while now, if Denton residents wanted to participate in the primary elections, they would just go to Gateway Center on March 5th to get their votes in, regardless of their political choices. But that's about to change. Instead, your voting day location will now be based on your precinct and party affiliation. This is because local opposing party members could not come to an agreement and decided not to have a joint election this year. Now voters will have to register with either the Republican or Democratic Party beforehand, then go to one of the two party-specific locations. That's right, Republicans and Democrats will not vote in the same building this year. Denton County has not yet released the Election Day polling location map, but you can find your precinct on the votedenton.gov website. Once you get to the main page, just click on the election results and maps option at the very top of the page and keep an eye out for when the voting location map drops. We'll make sure to keep an eye on this, and we'll have more on this story next week for you. Back over to Ben.
Thanks, Jackson. Well, despite local changes, I'm as intent as ever to get out there and vote. This election year is shaping up to be an intense race. For the latest developments in Washington, CNN's Julia Benbrook has the details.
A potential Republican shakeup in the deep blue state of Maryland. On the day of the primary filing deadline, former Governor Larry Hogan entered the race to replace retiring Maryland Democratic Senator Ben Cardin.
I decided to run to kind of stand up and fight for the people of Maryland and fight against the broken politics in Washington.
Hogan was a popular Republican governor known for his moderate record. Although Maryland is a deep blue state, Hogan's campaign gives Republicans a strong candidate as the GOP attempts to flip the seat. A surprise in any race would impact the entire battle for control of the Senate, with Democrats holding a one-seat advantage and incumbents already on defense in several Republican-leaning states, like Montana and Ohio.
Personally, this is not a burning desire to go be a senator or to go down there and argue with people all day. I'm only doing it because I think I have a unique voice and perspective.
Democratic Senator Joe Manchin's decision not to run for re-election in West Virginia underscores the open 2024 playing field. His state has long been ranked as the seat most likely to flip.
I have come to the conclusion we're not going to fix the political posturing in Washington, here in Congress, from Washington. It'll be fixed from outside of Washington.
The GOP would only need to pick up 1 or 2 seats, depending on who wins the White House, in order to flip control of the Senate. The 3 final seats Democrats hold in states where Donald Trump won in 2020 are among those up for grabs this fall. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Well, Ben, it looks like I'm going to be holding on to my flannels for just a little bit longer.
Yes, well, you can bet on a few changes coming in the next few days. Our very own Grace Grimes is here to give us our full look into Texas weather.
Thanks, guys. All across North Texas, we have some really nice temperatures today. Even though it's February, it has been heating up a little bit. In Denton, we have a temperature of 65. Up in Gainesville, 62. Sherman, 64. Down in Dallas and Fort Worth, we have temperatures at 67. So overall, it's been a really nice day today. On to the regional map. We have temperatures again all in the 60s. Up in Oklahoma, we do have the coldest temperature of 56. Down in Austin and Houston, we have temperatures of 68 and 67. So overall, it's been a really nice day in Texas today. On to the 7-day forecast. So for the rest of the week, we have a pretty nice week. Tomorrow will be a little bit cloudy still. Saturday through Wednesday, it's going to be really nice and sunny. We do have a chilly Saturday with a high of 48 and a low of 42, but the rest of the week we have highs in the 50s, 60s. Look forward to Wednesday with a high of 80 and Thursday with a high of 78. That's all I have for today's weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Grace. Well, inflation has calmed down recently, but expenses are still a struggle for many students, parents, and everyone in between. To combat big grocery bills, Target has announced a new brand line. Valeria Herrera has more.
Thanks, Sebastian. People are always looking for ways to save a few extra dollars, which can be challenging if you're anything like me and always want to make a Target run. But it's about to get a whole lot easier. Target is announcing a new value brand and hopes to help and attract consumers in a conscious way. The brand will include more than 400 items that will range from phone chargers and apparel to everyday items. The deal-worthy brand will price its items as low as $1 and up to about $10. That's right, it's called Deal-worthy and it rolls out later this month, both nationwide and online. I don't know about you guys, but I am currently re-downloading the Target Land app as we speak. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Valeria. You know, Ben, this is actually great news because that means I can finally afford to shop at Target again.
Well, while you're spending your money at Target, others are not so lucky. An unclaimed lottery ticket has resulted in the loss of millions for one unfortunate Floridian.
The winner had 180 days to claim their winnings, but missed the deadline this past Sunday to claim their prize. Now, according to Florida law, the prize money will be forfeited and added to the next prize drawing.
The next Mega Millions drawing will be held tomorrow night, with the jackpot now reaching over $457 million. I don't know how you just forget to cash in over $30 million in cash, but
yeah, no, best believe if I had that kind of money, you would never catch me here anymore. I'd be gone.
Struggling with date ideas after Valentine's? We've got some ideas for you.
And Disney is tapping into nostalgia next month. Stay tuned.
University of North Texas. It has computers, printers, and the building is open 24/7. By going online, you can book up to an hour of reserved space in one of the many private study rooms. Many of them are equipped with whiteboards, a table, and a TV to hook up to your computer. Textbooks can be checked out for free with a student ID. They also have many of these in ebook forms. This is still a library, so always remember to be quiet and respectful of other surroundings, especially in certain places where talking is not allowed. For example, the 3rd and 4th floor are completely quiet. As you can see, Willis Library has many options for students, with it offering many media sources and staying open all the time.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounce checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
It's Valentine's Day, but there's still 364 other days that need some love too.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I struggle with date ideas all year long. Luckily, I think our segment anchor, Emma Burns, has more ideas for me, so I don't have to stay single. Emma?
Thanks, guys. Just because Valentine's Day is over doesn't mean the romance needs to end. Or if you're like Ben, you might need some help finding a perfect date spot. I went on the hunt to find just that perfect date spot here in Denton. Let's take a look. Downtown Denton Square, imagine a scene straight from a romance film. You can picture diverse date nights, delicious dining and live music, and plenty of spaces to make some unforgettable memories. The perfect place to start your date night is at the bookstore located on the corner in the square.
Everyone's going to be doing a date on the square, but that's, it's for good reason. Yeah. First date, heaven.
The bookstore features 3 stories of records, books, and CDs, and it's the perfect place for an icebreaker with your date.
If you're going around, you got to hit the comic shop, you got to hit the candy shop, and as you keep going around, there's a lot more food options, right? And then end at the bookstore.
After grabbing a bite to eat, here's a scoop on the best ways you can grab a sweet treat. Beth Marie's is one of the best places you can find all your favorite homemade ice creams. And if that doesn't cure your sweet tooth, Atomic Candy has a wide variety of candy to cure any sweet craving. Maybe you're looking for a little pick-me-up on your date. Jupiter House is the best place to grab a cup of joe. And if that's not your cup of tea, you can stop by at the arcade for some late-night pinball, or have a picnic on the lawn. Reporting for North Texas Television, this is Emma Burns. Those are just a few of my favorite spots, and I hope y'all can enjoy them too. That's all for Positively North Texas today. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Emma.
Are you all right, Sebastian?
Yeah, it's just, now that football's over, I don't really have that much to watch anymore, sport-wise.
Well, did you see the Mavericks game?
I actually did. It was a little bit rough at first, but hey, if no one's got me, Luka's got me.
That's right. Now let's take it over to our sports anchor, Jordan Lindsay, to see what else is happening in the world of sports. Jordan?
Thanks, guys. Don't worry, Sebastian. You're not the only one that's a little lost now that football season is over. But don't go anywhere because we have highlights from the Mavs win over the Spurs, a look ahead of tonight's big matchup between the Mean Green and Memphis, and the return of your defending world champion, Texas Rangers. Stick around for more.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Did you see that lady hit me with a car? Yeah, we did. I got it all on video. Oh my god. Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that. Yeah, not the hospital. Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu. If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh?
Can I see your voter registration, please?
All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
The Dallas Mavericks faced Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs last night at the American Airlines Center. Luka Doncic and the Mavs defeated the Spurs in a 93-116 finish. Luka Doncic scored 27 points while grabbing 9 rebounds along with 8 assists. Kyrie Irving made a big contribution as well, scoring 34 points, 7 assists, and 9 rebounds. The Mavs are heading into All-Star break with an overall record of 32-23 while only being 7th in the Western Conference. The UNT men's basketball team is in the Super Pit tonight as they face the Memphis Tigers. The Mean Green compiled an overall record of 13-10. They are ranked 7th in the American Conference. The team has a chance to turn things around after falling to the SMU Mustangs on Sunday. That is all for sports. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jordan. Disney is reviving an old classic, and it's better than ever. X-Men 97 is a direct sequel to X-Men, the animated series, and will pick up where the finale left off. The cast includes voice actors from the original show, along with some newcomers. The show will start streaming on Disney Plus on March 20th. It's X-Men, with Deadpool and Wolverine coming out in theaters this summer.
Thanks for watching ntTV Lightning News.
Join us again next week here on North Texas Television.